I'm Jeremy Farrance coming in for the second time here. My demo is the answer to the question, how do I keep up with DNN? And it's surprising when I started this list, it was pretty brief, and I was like, that's not enough. And each time I went looking further, I found a lot more things. So I'm just going to go through these fairly quickly, but I would start on the DNNCommunity.org site. The three main things that I find myself going back to regularly are fairly obviously the blog, and that's where maybe some of you found out about this meetup. And there's just a lot of good mix of technical and new releases and other stuff that goes on here. And if you find an article or something by somebody that you like and you think they might have other articles, this list over here is really helpful. So here's Mitch Sellers, and now we can zoom in and see all the stuff Mitch wrote recently, and you can see this guy's really technically oriented, so that's cool. Another good place that's gotten much better is the DNN forums. This is actually a module, open source community module in DNN called the Community Forums. And so you can actually use this on your own site if you had a need. I actually quoted on it for a client recently. One of the nice features I want to make sure people are aware is once you get logged in and you have an account, this is the greatest thing ever. Oh, I can't show you unless I'm logged in, and that's over here. Sorry. Here's the DNN forums with me logged in, and I did the drop down called not read. So if you go a week without being here, and you can see I have not, you'll get a nice concise list of the 10 latest things that have had updates or replies, or I think even if somebody clicked like on it or something. So anyhow, the forums are nice. Moving on from there, we talked about the blog, that Discord. I think most of you here I see on and off in Discord, but Discord has pretty much become the daily discussion point, Q&A style stuff that's going on, announcements, solve your problem. Discord, the DNN community does really good. And if you want to know how to find the server that is the DNN community on Discord, that's actually back on the homepage of the DNN community site, this box right here has a valid invite. I'm not going to click on it, but it will actually, we've had to refresh it 2 or 3 times in the last year, but it will get you invited in and into the right server. And I highly recommend you check it out and hang out. Discord's pretty darn active lately. That's what it looks like. I have some weird stuff in there, so I moved it off screen real fast. Don't pause. Moving on from Discord. Um, it actually might seem a little gearheaded, but you can get a lot of information just by going to the GitHub repo for DNN. In particular, the releases will show you what the latest release is, and honestly, they do a really good job. There's a lot of information in here that can tip you off as to when a new feature came into an existence. So these can be worth reading depending on your level of interest. Another thing is looking at the issues. You can get a good sense quickly of what's being kept up with, what's getting fixed. Any issues that have a lot of comments are usually pretty interesting to read. And then lastly, the discussions here. Over time, they kind of fade into the past, but there's been some decent ones lately, and I have to admit, I even started one that I'm a little too interested in. But the new upgrade UI in the persona bar, I'm hoping we'll get some improvements. Like some people complained about that little steps icon there, and nobody knew what it was. I had one customer actually tell me, "Well, I didn't know what that was. I was afraid to click on it." So here we're discussing maybe change it to an apply button. And you're welcome to get in here if you have an account and start commenting on it, as some people have done. So moving on from GitHub, um, DNNDocs. This home page doesn't get updated often enough, but it did get a recent update, and you'll even notice the show and tell meetup is in here, and Southern Fried. which we'll get to in a minute, is here. DNN Summit, I believe, is about to properly announce. I think they've already set dates for the new one. It's virtual only, but you'll be able to find out that type of information here, or go directly to their website. Let me back up because I think I skipped one. There we go. So on the docs, one of the things I wanted to point out to people is this search works up to a point, but not very well. One of the things you can do, Google indexes the site really well. So if you don't know this trick, here's a real trick for you. If you take, I'm sorry, that needs to say docs dot. So you put this site colon in front of the domain, subdomain, and URL. So site colon docs.community.org space, and then what you want to search for. And it will give you, wow, that did not work that time. Did I spell HTML sanitizer wrong? There it is. No, it's not. All right. Well, on every other day when I've demoed this, it's fantastic and will take you straight into the DNN docs. It's possible something is excluding it right now or Google's having a problem, but this for over a year now has been the best way to find things in the DNN docs, especially as a developer when your searches are fairly unique. All right, and then DNN Connect starts what, tomorrow or the next day? 2 days from now, going on in Belgium. There is some good information on this site. Check it out. There's also the DNN Summit. I believe I was told Ryan or someone's working on getting this site updated with the new announcement. So check back on that in the next week. One of the interesting ones that I think as a vendor, they do a really good job keeping things up to date and announcing stuff that's exciting, at least within their product and their contributions to the community. The Too Sexy blog is really good. And I'm going to switch over to here. Go full screen. Get that out of the way. And then, which is where you are now, there's the DNN Show and Tell Meetup. It would probably help us feel better, at least, if you signed up on here and attended a few meetings in the future. We also have a YouTube page, 36 views, 65 views. So there's things going on. One of the things we're doing different than other meetups in the past is we're posting clips individually. This time out, we're going to post the entire meeting complete probably sometime tomorrow. And then each clip, each session will be posted one business day at a time. And we're going to see how that goes. We're experimenting and learning how this stuff works. Hopefully we'll get more views that way. Southern Fried's still around. You can join them in the meetup on their meetup page, and they have a DNN Southern Fried DNN page channel, sorry, on YouTube, and all their stuff is here. I did talk with Ryan recently, and he does have the recordings for the two most recent ones this year. Those are in the process of getting up there. They did not get up there right away. And then that's it. I'm at the end of my list. And the only other thing I wanted to mention was DNN. There we go. If you are interested in the DNN MVC pipeline, there is a way to get to a version of DNN that is forked on DNN Connect. Anyhow, that's probably a little too much to go into right now, but if you're interested in that kind of thing, reach out to me on Discord and I'll get you the links I have for most of the things on the MVC pipeline. Anyone have any questions, or did I miss something really obvious, which is my biggest fear? Where else do you find out about stuff going on in the DNN community?
I think you cover pretty much everything, man, right now.
Yeah,
Well,
cool.
that I'm aware of.